Hello, my friends. It's me, Emily. Thank you so much to Erica who gave me this beautiful mug. It's one of those Ray Dunn mugs, and it's got that sort of imperfect shape to it. I love it so much. I had it kind of decoratively up in this room somewhere, and then I thought, hey, I want to be drinking coffee out of that. And somebody told me I need to not drink out of my snowflake mug anymore because snowflake time is over, and I have to admit it is. Nothing like that. First sip of coffee. And today's video, guys, I sort of threw this out there. I love when I come up with a video idea in the midst of another video, and I was talking about this one out loud during a past video. Products that you can just kind of be careless with. Things that are so easy to apply and so hard to screw up. I wanted to devote a full face to things of this nature. Things that you don't have to think too hard about, you don't have to know a lot of tricks on. I feel like I've done a video kind of like this at some point in the past. I'll look it up. But there are certain times, or maybe just certain people out there who don't really love the intricacies of makeup and really just want to get it on quickly and without a lot of care and attention. Or maybe you've got to do your makeup during a commute. Maybe you're traveling and the lighting and the whole setup is just not ideal like you have it at home, and doing your makeup is a challenge. This is all stuff that's going to be very easy. So let's get going. I've already got my skincare on, already got my SPF on, and now I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. I used this in a past video, have it in light. I think this is a really nice little like tinted moisturizer, BBCC light foundation type of product. That's definitely the thing I'm thinking of when we're talking about easy to blend, low fuss, hard to screw up type of makeup. Another one that comes to mind from a drugstore price point is the Almay Healthy Biome. And we're already dropping things. I'm gonna use my Sigma F80. I found this dope looking gold one in my collection. I'm like, why am I not using that? The flat kabuki. This is just a really easy blending method because the surface area of this brush is so nice and big. Look how easily I can blend over this. I'm really not even trying. Like I'm just going on autopilot here. I'm just blending it out. This is definitely some makeup you can go on autopilot with. I love a beauty blender, but I thought about people who are maybe on the go. You might not have access to a sink to dampen your beauty blender, or you might not like to tote it around damp. So use a brush. This is so easy. The coverage is light, but it was easy and it blended effortlessly, and I'm not worried about any kind of streaks or unevenness. For a concealer, I know I've talked about a stick concealer many a time on my channel as being the easiest way to go, and it truly is, my friends. This one is from Neutrogena, and it's the Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer. I have it in the shade Light. There is kind of like a hydrating core in the middle, but it's very smooth. It's one of the richest, smoothest feeling stick concealers, and you see me just swiping that on the under eye. Gonna take it down the nose, gonna go around redness, got a little and a little right down there, and you just, what you want to cover up, you just swipe across it, okay? For me, I might have a few more tricks up my sleeve when it comes to using like a really high coverage liquid concealer, because I might just do certain dots in certain places. You know, we're trying not to over apply and trying to be real careful, but with a stick concealer, it's really just like draw over the problem area and then blend out by way of just kind of patting over it. This is a Real Techniques brush, by the way. It's from a highlighter duo, 413, but it's absolutely a perfect little concealer buffer brush. And just dabbing in. We also have, of course, the option of the Real Techniques RT Go brush, which really, I could have busted that out at the start. That's a really nice option for covering a large surface area. It has a built-in concealer brush. Foundation brush itself can work nicely for concealer too. Plus it's short and chunky and real makeup bag friendly. Probably should have used that. Okay, so look where we're at now. We've got that stick concealer on everywhere, but it wasn't a big, dry, old school stick concealer. It was a hydrating and yet nice coverage stick concealer. When I think powder, and I think about where can powder go wrong? How can powder go wrong? Well, first off, if it's a loose powder, things can get tricky, right? Because we have that mess factor. So I'm thinking about a pressed powder, and then I think another way you can go wrong is getting way too much powder on your face and everything just looks cakey. So a powder that pretty much controls itself is the Rimmel Stay Matte. Plus, it's one of the most affordable you can lay your hands on. I wear it in the shade Sandstorm. basic matte pressed powder here, but the reason why I think it's so user-friendly is that when I put a brush in, yeah, I get a little bit on my brush, but I don't get too much. I'm not like puffing up a cloud of powder smoke, you know, around me. I'm not in a whirlwind of powder. And the fact that you don't have that excess going on means you're not getting too much on your face at one time, and it can very nicely set my under eye, which I'm doing here. I'm doing this all in the name of staying power, setting my under eye and setting my T-zone. And look, I mean, I don't feel overly caked up. I do feel mattified in these areas and therefore a little bit further perfected in these spots. But wow, you can't go wrong with this stuff. It is a true no-brainer product. Dab in, dab on. Boom. We're done. When it comes to bronzer, I do think bronzers can be kind of tricky. There are certain shades that are just absolute no-brainers. I think about the Hourglass diffused bronze light. Like that stuff goes on no problem. Really don't have to think when I use that. But another one that is just so easy is the Huda Tantour, and that was one of the catalysts behind this whole video idea, so I really feel like I should use it. When we're talking bronzer, contour, I wear this in the shade Light. Got a little sub cap here to keep it from drying out, and I gotta tell you, it's just as creamy as the day I bought it. And you're gonna dab into that with any kind of brush. I mean, this is just a little Sigma F04, or use like any kind of synthetic brush that you might use for foundation. And I mean, was I careful with this? Not a bit. Did I actually get a little extra product because some chunked out there when I hit it with the cap? So I got maybe a little more than I wanted. So classic example of how, you know, the application to my face, whoops, hair, wasn't perfect, but it's blending out perfectly still. It's very, very easy to blend. Easy to blend cream product. You can see exactly where you're putting it. Sometimes we can get a little carried away with different powder bronzers, myself included. Sometimes it can be very hard to nail down the proper tone of your powder bronzer, you know, because there's so much, like, going one way you could be very grayish, going another way you could be very orange. The tone on this is so natural. So I'm going in, again, a little tap in. It's gonna go here, boom. It's gonna go here. Oh wait, did I just leave that unattended for a while? Risking it setting up and me not being able to blend it? No, it's not gonna set up on you too fast. You can go pop this on at this stage of the game, take a phone call, go wait on hold for 10 minutes, come back, blend it out. I don't know, I guess I haven't really tried leaving this alone for 10 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. It can rest, it can wait. You don't have to babysit it. It'll just be there to be blended whenever you get around to it. I love this stuff. It's so easy. Just circular motions. Just buff it out. I'm not messing up the foundation coverage underneath. I'm just swiping it on the skin and then blending. If you got a little extra on your brush, maybe you just take that right down in this zone. But I really don't have too much extra. It just blend it in like a dream. If you get too much, it's no big deal. It's going to blend out for you. The tone, like I said, is very unobjectionable. I really, really like that stuff. What about blush? I think a very forgiving blush would be one that's not too light, not too dark, not too pink, not too orange, and not too matte, not too shimmery, okay? Oh, also not too pigmented, not too sheer. I want to be walking the middle on all of those categories, and I think a perfect one to do that is a Covergirl Cheekers blush, and this is the shade called Brick Rose. And this is a beautiful shade that does have maybe the slightest bit of sheen. It doesn't look like much in the pan, but consider the fact that some of these blushes that don't look like much in the pan can be some of the prettiest on the cheeks. This shade, my goodness, it's very, very hard to screw this one up, my friends. I get some on there. I'm not paying attention to really how much. I'm just swirling it. I'm engaging blush goddess mode. And I've got a cheek that I'd be happy of any day of the week. I'm kind of taking this just a hair lower because I'm sort of Marilyn inspired from that little technique we used on the other video. But look at how pretty that blush is. My goodness. I mean, it's just like gently rosy, got a little neutral to it. It's not screaming blush at you, but man, do I look more radiant than when I started, yes. So easy, so fresh. Not too much sheen, but maybe just enough natural sheen to make that look real natural on the skin. Now thinking about highlighters, how about one that you can just completely finger paint with and really can't go wrong with? I mean, sometimes the streaks of highlighter, the highlighters that can be too intense powder-wise, can be a struggle for some people. Or, you know, maybe they're not struggling enough to get it blended how it should be. But this one is from RMS Beauty and it's called Living Luminizer. And a little tease here, I got a couple other RMS products recently that I ordered from QVC and I'm very excited about those too. But this is the one I've had part of my life the longest. This is called Living Luminizer and it's very gently pearly. And you're just gonna dab it in with your finger right on kind of where the cheek gets full when you smile, that little area. I mean, friends, this is nothing. This is like no work. This is fun. This is like tapping yourself on the face saying, hey, wake up, face. It's gonna be a great day. That is like I'm charged up from the inside kind of glow right there. I love it. I always love this product when I put it on. It's so easy. Get a little more on the finger, maybe dab a little kind of right in this zone going up from the arch of the eyebrow on that side of the forehead. We won't leave you out, left side. Look at that. I mean, that is so easy. That is so hard to screw up. This is not a big pot of shimmer here. This is a pot of creamy, gentle luminosity, and yet my skin does not feel like a tacky mess after that. Love it, love it, love it. I knew I was gonna love this look, but I didn't expect to be this into this look. Brows, I'm gonna use another thing that was the real motivation for this video along with the tan tour, and it's the Benefit Brow Micro Filling Pen. I wear it in medium brown. I swear this is the easiest thing for my brows. It's got the little fork mode. We're going into angled fork mode with this. This is a pen, okay? There's not another pen that exists that I can be this careless with in my brows. I mean, I just kind of, I see brow on my face, existing brow, and so I just put this on my face where the brow is, and I just start going, and then here I'm gonna go, and then before I know it, it's done. Now, I do have a good amount of brow there. I realize this. I realize a person with less brow might have to be more careful and take a little more time. But if you've got some brow and you think, oh, well, those pens, those just really aren't for me. Those are for the people who don't have eyebrows there. This is so easy. I can feel it going in and kind of going through hair, hitting the skin. It's not overloading me with ink, which is a chief problem of products like this, for me anyway. And that can be an issue for those who either have a lot of brow and suddenly they can't be overwhelmed with product, or somebody who has very little brow doesn't want to be overwhelmed with the product either, because then it's looking like a real stark situation there. You're just raking it through. It feels cooling. It feels nice. I know the demand is high for a nice cooling eyebrow product. By the way, I got, as part of my Mother's Day gift, Bub gave me this like face roller thing that you have to actually, you charge it up and it can be either like hot or cold on the face and it rolls around. Like, I can't wait to try it. I meant to try it last night, but I was working on stuff late. But that's gonna be fun. Love a good temperature sensation on the face. Okay. So here we are. We're all filled in. Again, I feel like I could do this without looking in a mirror. And that's saying a lot for a brow product. I'm gonna pop some gel on that just to hold it in place. This is just kind of what's been handy lately, this Milani avocado stuff, but really any gel. This comes out kind of goopy at the tip. It's not like my most favorite ever. If hold is a real problem for you with your brows, think about NYX Control Freak. And then there's the Almay Brow Styler, which has the tint to it, holds really well, and could be a really nice one and done option for my ladies and fellas out there with naturally really thick brows. Now I'm gonna put on some eye primer. And if we're trying to eliminate all unnecessary steps, you know, you might skip eyeshadow, or you might, you know, take a little Huda Tantour, a little extra on your brush, or a little bit of that blush that's extra on your brush, and just pop it in for a quick eye look. You might refer to my 5-minute makeup video that I did most recently for some techniques on speed. But here we're going more with like ease. And what if one does want to apply a whole eyeshadow look and keep it easy. Could have gone a lot of different ways here. Shimmering sands is always an option, okay? I don't think they're ever gonna retire shimmering sands, and that is something that I know I have featured before in easy makeup videos because it is just like so hard to mess that up. It's like kind of a bronzy brown, a medium beigey color, and a light shimmer, and they all have shimmer, and that makes it very forgiving. Today I thought let's do something a little bit different, but that's still very easy. I've got this little True Naked quad from Covergirl, and it's in the shade called Dreamland. I think that's the shade. Yeah, so it's kind of cooler. It's got a little bit of that sort of dusty lavender thing going on here, and I feel like this would be a pretty easy toss it on shadow look as well. I'm gonna go to this shade right here. It's matte, but even when you do have those shades that are somewhat shimmery, like I was talking about with shimmering sands, like they can be pretty forgiving. Like you could take the deepest shade in that and make a one shadow look out of it and call it a day, you know? But I'm kind of wanting to show you how a multi-shadow look can still be just super easy. So there's that shade going very gently into the crease. It looks like a nice naturally contoured crease. Okay, then we take our little deeper plum right out here. I'm just going to the crease. I'm doing a little like rink, rink, rink motion, okay? It's not too intense, guys, and that's kind of the key. You don't want to grab for the palette that has the most overwhelming pigmentation. That's going to be easier to screw up. Okay, easy enough. Then I'm just going to take a flat brush in with this kind of like rosy rust type shade. It's very murky, but I'm just going to pat that on a lot of the lid. Dust off my brush a little bit on my hand, and we're going to the lightest shade. Boom. Patting motions. That's all I'm doing with this stuff on the lid is just patting it right in. Patting it in. And this shade, how about easy lower liner? I'm taking a brush that's not even that small and just running it gently along the lower lash line. And then for eyeliner, I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to do it again in this video. My new favorite easy technique is to just take a jumbo shadow stick and run it across like part of my upper lash line, and it gives me like smoky liner without any like extra real blending. And I've been using my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Cocoa. Realized another good shade that I have on hand is called Plum, and I think I'm going to use the Plum with today's look. So look, I've just got this thick stick, and I'm just kind of going across my lash line just like that. And I'm getting a thicker than usual line, and it's giving me soft liner with no extra work, okay? Just get it targeted toward your lash line, and then as I bring it inward, I'm doing more like little boop, boop, boop motions, just because this transfers on the skin so easily. You just get it close and dab it, and it's on. Much less fussy than a lot of different liner methods that are out there, for sure. And there are other sticks you can probably locate for lower prices. I know e.l.f. is doing some sticks like that, so it's not like it has to be Laura Mercier. But I'm just going to put a little light liner in my lower inner rim like I like to do. Brightens up the eyes. And then when we're talking mascara, it's got to be the thing that goes on fastest, right? That's the least fussy, the one that's requiring you to make the fewest strokes through. So you probably already know that for me, that's going to be IT Cosmetics Superhero. It just, without a doubt, builds up the fastest on my eyes. No struggle. It gives me the biggest lash look, the most satisfying look, and I don't have to spend as much time working it through. So I will always take the time to curl my lashes because they really need that. You know whether or not yours do. Easy, effortless. So simple to get that lash. And I'm just going to focus on my top lashes today. I'm not going to put anything even on the lower lashes. You know, the care that it does take to keep from bopping yourself under the eye, I'm not even going to worry about that. Oh, I love that mascara so much. Done. For lips, I got two things here. One, a tinted lip balm is so easy. One that just goes on like lip balm that you don't even have to think about. I'm talking about my Nivea Blackberry Lip Care. I love this stuff, so I'm going to throw this on. And then I got another option for those of us in mask mode. But look at this. So easy, so finished. This smells great. It gives you this most natural looking kind of popsicle stained lip. So completely comfortable. Just a gorgeous, one of my favorite lip products of all time, honestly. So that's great. You're seeing a little bit of shine there. Awesome, awesome. But if you gotta wear a mask, I wouldn't really recommend having that on underneath. What I would recommend is the easiest thing to apply that's going to set and not smear off. So a Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink Crayon. This is in the shade called Lead the Way. And it's gonna be like a very easy color too, that you don't have to be too careful with. This kind of medium muted pink. Goes on so creamy, so easy, and then it will set for you and really be nicely long wearing. But it's a little less fussy than the application of different liquid lipsticks, right? And I will be in mask mode today because I'm going and getting my second dose of the Moderna vaccine. Popping on a little bit more here because I felt like it. And I'm gonna go for a sweep more of the blush. Brick Rose, baby. Amazing. I believe this was a Dolce Vita dupe from NARS. I'm about certain that was the Covergirl one I mentioned being a dupe for that. Okay, hair down. Totally effortless, hard to screw up makeup look right here. I mean, is it the flashiest? Is it got as many bells and whistles as it could? No, like it's a very basic eye, very everyday, just gentle smoky plum. Easiest to blend out complexion products that gave us coverage. Love the face accents so much. That might have been my favorite part of the look, was getting that whole contour, blush, and highlight engaged in this look. But yeah, I hope this gave you some ideas. If you've got someone in your life who just really hates the struggle and fuss of makeup, maybe you could share this video with them and they might enjoy some of these product ideas and suggestions. I'm not saying you have to have every single thing that I'm talking about here. There might be a few things that you've been wanting to plug into your routine, like a super easy blush or a lip color that you can just swipe on super quick and it'll last all day, that kind of stuff. Maybe there are a few certain gems for you in this video, so everything will be listed and linked below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and I love you so much. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.